Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email us tmosso@the1916company.com for purchase, pricing, and availability questions concerning this watch. Today, we have a very special timepiece from Grand Seiko of Japan. This is the Hi-Beat GMT Blue Ceramic SBGJ229, a 350-piece limited edition for 2018. It was part of the 9S 20th anniversary series that debuted that year for 20 years of the 9S automatic mechanical caliber. Now, this watch was a new application of blue ceramic to the Grand Seiko Sports series, and it is both titanium and blue ceramic. You can see the cladding of the case fixed by screws, so if it should ever get fractured, as rarely happens, but can happen with ceramic, the piece can be removed and replaced during service. You also get the lightness of ceramic and titanium in combination with sapphire, almost like a much smaller watch with the scratch resistance that comes with ceramic externally. So it's a big watch. Although not one of the Godzilla branded Grand Seikos, it is Godzilla figuratively speaking. 46.5 millimeters in diameter, 15 millimeters thick, just lug to lug without the bracelet, 52.5 millimeters end link to end link, the total distance across the wrist, 55 millimeters, with a 23 millimeter spacing between the lugs. As I mentioned, all sapphire, titanium, and ceramic, three very light materials. This is a very light watch on the wrist. And surprisingly, although I don't have a big diesel wrist, I could absolutely wear this. So if your wrist is my size or larger, I would say game on. It might not be as thick as you expect, and with a slightly stepped case flank and sloped bezel, it should slide underneath most cuffs. Not the tightest of dress sleeves, but then again, most dress sleeves, just about all loose shirt sleeves, and all jacket cuffs. Good looking piece and highly visible. There are advantages to size. The nice thing about this watch is the way the theme of dual materials is continued seamlessly through the bracelet. Now, every single link here is removable. We have a series of removable links on both sides for fine-tuning the fit. We have a single fold clasp with thick gauge titanium. We have twin trigger release for that. You can see brushed, polished, and media blasted finish on the shell of the clasp. We also have 4 sets of divots drilled inside the clasp, so you can use your strap tool to re-anchor the spring bar and actually just vary the fit and the anchoring point of the bracelet to fine-tune. So you've got quite a few options for sizing this. And as you can see, this is a system that uses a series of pins rather than screws, but the advantage of that is that you cannot accidentally strip a flathead screw and strand it inside the link. So that's the advantage of this setup. Now, the case is fascinating because everything that would suffer an external insult, that is a scratch or a scuff, is ceramic, which completely clads and shields the titanium. So ceramic is super scratch resistant, and you could see that in most cases, the scratches on this watch are confined only to the end links of the bracelet and some of the links of the bracelet itself. So this is nothing that can't be refinished. In fact, a lot of this is just fingerprinting. The case, the bezel, are immaculate, as you could see right here. Now, the watch does feature a screw-down crown, and you can see on the reverse side, water resistant to 100 meters. So this is a full-service sports watch. There's a 24-hour scale outboard that can be read against the second time zone. So you have a local 12-hour time zone and then a reference independent 24-hour time zone. Fire it up. We'll take a look at this watch in the dark. And as you can see, the hands are luminescent to the point where you can read the second time zone in the dark. Now, the watch features blued indices, polished and satinated primary Dauphine hands, a media blasted seconds hand, and then a blued secondary time hand with a red varnished end. There is a mosaic texture to the dial. That is what this pattern is called, the Mosaic. And you can see it features the Grand Seiko initials repeating endlessly, splayed out in a spiral fashion. There's a Reihot outboard against which you can read minutes and seconds. And Grand Seiko dial quality I consider to be co-equal with Rolex as the best in the industry in the mainstream luxury class. The difference is there's a lot more hand assembly and finishing of a Grand Seiko dial, including these hands which have satin finish tops but mirrored and razor-sharp outer facets. That's done manually, and then they're all placed and caulked manually. Automatic winding, you better believe it, 55-hour power reserve, high beat, 36,000 vibrations per hour. One of the reasons why we have this super smooth sweeping seconds hand, it takes advantage of the fact that this watch beats at 10 beats per second rather than 8 per second on a standard watch. It is also a special series regulation, which means, and you can see it recapitulated with the golden medallion, this particular 9S86 is timed to the special standard. So whereas a standard Hi-Beat is +5 -3 seconds per day, this is +4 -2 seconds per day. That's what that special signature and little rose gold medallion mean. Now you can also see that there's a lovely oxidized rotor. The mass is on one side, but the rotor itself is this wonderful oxidized blue titanium piece. The movement 9S86, it is the dual-time version of the 9S85, and you can see that it is adjusted in 6 positions, one more than a standard chronometer, individual numbering out of 350, and it is a 37 jewel movement that is watchmaker assembled and watchmaker regulated. And this is a full-service sports watch. You can see you've got that ability to move your local hour and even jump the date forward or backwards as you move across the international date line. You also have a hacking or stop seconds function, so you can set the watch to the second against a reference time. A rare limited edition and one that is full of clever ideas. It represents the best of Japanese luxury class watchmaking, ready to do battle with the likes of Rolex and Omega. East versus West. Who's the best? You decide. Reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.